Hello, everyone, and welcome to the VGL cast. I am RavenVal95, and everyone, please introduce yourself in reverse alphabetical order, aside from myself, who has already done it.
Hello, I'm Vertigo Tea Party.
I'm Maddragon 249.
I'm IceBear.
And with that out of the way, let's talk about a game that we've played recently that we wish to discuss in reverse alphabetical order. So, IceBear?
Okay, so the game that I probably played the most, joint most, in the last 2 months since I've been on the podcast, is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. And that was an inopportune moment to take a mouthful of crumble.
That was!
In retrospect, I didn't think that one through at all.
Oh god.
I actually finished it just the other day. My game time says about 27 hours, but that's a lot of idle time as well. But it's still probably, like a good 20 hours. Upshot of it is I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it best as a sort of sandboxy, Middle-earth based game. Some of the combat in it was pretty fun. I've seen the stream or the review thing that Raven you linked me to the other day that was basically showing how you didn't need to do a lot.
He got a 31 hit combo with his monitor off.
Yeah. Which is, yeah. But you can sort of vary it a bit more than he was doing because all he was doing was just simple attacks and counters, but it sort of branches out beyond that, and it gets more entertaining. But by far and away, the most enjoyable mechanic of that game is the whole war chief and captain nemesis target kill system.
I have to ask you a question about the nemesis system, because I was reading an article on Kotaku that no one knows how to actually kill those people. Is it possible to actually kill them so they don't return ever?
Yeah. Wait, what? The Uruk captains and war chiefs and whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is a thing that sometimes if you just sort of kill them by, like a standard slashing move or whatever, or you just, punch them in the face or throw them off a ledge or something, it'll say they're dead, but there is a chance that you'll encounter them again later and they'll say, you thought you left me for dead, and it turns out they're alive this whole time. But you can definitively kill them. Sometimes it just happens when you kill them normally, then they'll be dead. And other times you have finishes and stuff where you can cut their heads off.
Decapitations, yeah.
Yeah. And also later on in the game you gain the ability to sort of dominate them using your wraith powers and make them your sort of slaves, I suppose. And they do your bidding, and so they're sort of like a enemy within. So yeah, no, there is a way to definitively kill those, and
Okay.
and they won't always come back after you kill them in a fairly standard fashion. But if you really want to make doubly sure, then yeah, best to use a finisher where they get their heads cut off. Although those can be randomized, so it's not always 100% that you'll that'll work.
Well, I guess the people at Kotaku were just shit then.
I mean, yeah.
That's very possible.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
Because they were saying like how they were decapitating them. They were even posting videos of them decapitating an orc and then them coming back.
I don't know how that would happen. That has not happened to me at all. I don't know if they were playing the console version or something and it's a bug exclusive to that, but I mean, I've got 20 hours logged in that game. I've decapitated my share of Uruks and I have not had one come back from that.
Oh,
maybe
okay.
It's just a change. I mean, maybe it's the case that, because obviously it sort of generates. It's got quite a wide range of character models for the different Uruk captains that are quite sort of distinctive and interesting. And one of the things that really makes that work, to be honest. But it's limited to a point, and so are the names and of the Uruks as well. So I don't know, maybe there's an outside chance that it just generated the same one as a replacement, but it's unlikely.
Alright then. Vertigo,
But
do you have
besides that,
anything?
is-
Oh,
Oh yeah, sure.
sorry. Well,
But yes, that game's good. You should play it. It's damn good. I'm only like 4 hours in, but the combat's really fun. The parry system's a little bit too good. Like it feels like you can. I don't tend to spam left click, but it feels like you can interrupt your attack animations at any time. Like I don't think I've ever run into a case where I parried. I was like, oh, I was in the middle of a combo, and I can't parry because I'm got to finish the animation or
yeah,
whatever.
that's what Destiny showed off, the streamer, not the game.
So is the combat system like
Batman.
Arkham Asylum, Batman, and
Yeah,
It's a
Assassin's Creed?
simplified
quite
version of
Assassin's
that.
Creedy as well.
Yeah.
Basically, basic combat is just your basic attacks and then counters, and you can actually counter more than one enemy at a time as well, as long as you hit the button prompt individually. But it explains that because your Wraith, the guy who's the elf that's possessing you,
Yeah.
well, his spirit, he also like blocks the other attack. It's actually quite cool animation when that happens, and it does get quite simplistic. But eventually there are new enemies that are introduced that you can't just attack normally. You have to use this your like spirit punch thing that stuns enemies in order to be able to attack them normally. There's with shields where if you just hit them, then you'll just keep bumping into their shields. So you kind of need to get behind them and you can jump over them and stuff. So I agree. It starts out simplistic and then gets much better. To be honest, the late stage of the game, is actually like a lot more enjoyable than the beginning part of the game, really, because they're just more open to you through the upgrade system and also different abilities that unlock through the story.
I have a question about how similar is it to Assassin's Creed? Because when it was first showed off, there was actually a big controversy about it being, like Assassin's Creed 2's animations like 1-to-1, and people were overlapping them, showing like they're practically the same thing. Like, do you find that it is very Assassin's Creedy or what?
No, I would say his swordplay is quite flamboyant, really, animation-wise. And in Assassin's Creed 2 in particular, I remember the combat system in that being quite jarring, and you were basically forced to wait for counters because breaking through people's guards was so difficult and convoluted that and you didn't have the combo system or anything like that. I didn't find that to be the case between those two games, no.
Alright.
And also the finishers. I mean, in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood onwards, I guess your combo is basically just like if you've countered or done some other killing move on this guy, then you just keep pressing the attack button in the direction of the next enemy, and you'll keep killing them. And it does actually have an attack that's kind of like that, but that's late game, and it's just an optional unlockable ability. But the standard sort of execution system and stuff is not really the same.
All right.
Yeah, there's a ton of animations for the executions too. Like I'm only like 4 hours in, but I still keep finding new ones, so it doesn't really get old.
Yeah, no, that's what I agree. Actually, to be honest, even though it would be probably cooler at the start to have all the stuff that you can do later on in the game, it's probably for the best that it's quite measured, because it sort of keeps you going throughout. Like if you're just on a flat plane from the start, you might get bored of the game before finishing because obviously it wouldn't develop much. So even though at the beginning it's kind of simplistic, it actually works quite well in how you progress and how things get more complicated and entertaining throughout. I mean, it's got its flaws. Even though it's well voice acted, I don't really give a damn about the story or the characters or whatever much beyond the bits that sort of involve lore from the series, which I'm not particularly strong on. But
I love the fact that Troy Baker and Nolan North are in that game. That is amazing to me.
Is Troy Baker the protagonist? Is he Italian?
Fuck if I know. I just know that they're both in it.
The guy, the main guy. Okay, no.
I can IMDb it.
Sure.
One of the things that drives me nuts about that game is your character is really bad about getting stuck on corners of objects.
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
climbing
skirt
is
around.
not great. Yeah.
Oh man, it's really bad.
if you try to run up a wall, but you're at a slight angle to it as well, like it won't know what the hell you're trying to do, and you'll just fall back down as well. So you got to be like pretty much straight onto a wall when you're trying to climb it. I mean, which usually isn't a problem if you're coming at it from a distance, but if you're sort of like, if you're turning slightly away, then you would think that you probably get the benefit of the doubt there, because it does make an attempt to climb up the wall, but it's like, no, you're at the wrong angle. This isn't going to work. Which is a bit annoying. So yeah, you can get snagged on scenery and objects and obstacles and stuff. That does happen.
It hails in the game too. I just found out today.
It hails. I didn't know that.
Galadriel.
Because I thought it was raining at first, and I know it was like louder than normal. And I looked on the ground, and I noticed like it was from both the actual hailstones coming down, and it was like hitting the ground and kind of bouncing. They didn't stay around because I'm sure that would bring the performance to its knees. But like it was obviously not rain; it was actual hail. That was pretty cool.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Jennifer Hale is Galadriel in Shadows of Mordor.
Oh, she makes a very brief appearance. Yeah.
Also, Troy Baker is Talion, and Eleanor is a Black Hand of Sauron or Sauron. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's that's kind of weird. He's like the main antagonist of the game. Like he's the guy you're going after the whole time, but you don't get an awful lot of screen time with him.
Well, he is also Nemesis Orcs.
Oh right, okay, yeah. I like how all of the orcs just sound like they've got London accents and have been smoking 50 a day for a few years.
The facial animations are incredibly good too.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like damn good for the orcs or urks or whatever. I would call them orcs. I'm sure like every
orcs are a type of orc, so I guess you're right either way.
Yeah, it's not right enough for them. You know how they are.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like when you're doing that thing that makes them like really scared or whatever, and their eyes like rolling back, kind of like it's really freaky because it's like real. It's like, whoa, I actually sort of kind of feel bad for this orc because he's really freaking out. But and like when the way they talk, their mouth moves like, this is gonna sound strange, but in a understandably weird way, like a logically weird way, like their faces just move, but the way you would kind of expect them to move.
So it's not like they mapped the same animations onto the character models for the Uruk. It's like it fits their physical profile, I guess.
That is awesome because I hated it in Mortal Kombat 9. Whenever Baraka spoke, he has these massive like super sharp teeth coming out of his mouth, yet he speaks like a normal human, and it's like you shouldn't be able to make the sound of some of those vowels. That's not possible with your teeth and jaws and just how. Anyway, yeah, go on.
But yeah, no, the animations for the face, like this is one of those things that, which granted I don't really read the reviews, but it's one like I don't know if you can call it a small detail, but a great detail that I've just noticed is really, really well done. It's something that I normally don't even pay that much attention to. But then when I actually see it in motion, I'm like, wow, like that's actually really, really well done. It's just a damn good game. Like it's definitely, almost definitely going to be on my top 3 for game of the year for this.
Nice.
I mean, I'm undecided about mine, but it's definitely probably the most impressive AAA game I've played. Like, of the games that have been hyped up throughout this year, this is probably the one that's come closest to living up to it. I mean, if we apply the rule that it never happens, that it'll never fully, live up to it. Unless, it completely goes under the radar and turns out to be exceptional. This one actually did deliver. For me, anyway.
Yeah, I actually didn't really care about this game until maybe about a week or 2 before it was released. Because I just, all the footage I just ignored because I assumed it was going to be another, it's another licensed half-assed product. I'm not going to really pay much attention to it. But
Warner Brothers are usually pretty good,
wow,
to be honest, with that sort of thing.
Yeah, they
actually are. Did they do Arkham Origins?
They did, Warner Brothers Montreal, the development studio, did that, but the publishers of Warner Brothers, they do Arkham and all that, and the Lego games.
Yeah, like they're usually pretty good with franchises, which is pretty much all they deal in. Except Scribblenauts. Although even that has franchises, isn't it?
Yeah, Scribblenauts Unmasked, DC Heroes or whatever it's called. That's actually a really good game as well.
Oh, well,
They
there you go.
rebalanced the way that Scribblenauts works, and so you can't constantly reuse like Cthulhu to solve everything, because then you don't get as many points.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anything else about Shadow of Mordor to say, or?
Just go buy it.
Get it on for Nuvem. It's really cheap there. I got it on pre-order there, so I was sort of hoping it would be good, and it was. So do that.
All right, who's next? Maddragon?
Yes. Hi.
What have you
what
been
have I been
playing?
playing?
What have you been playing? That's what you said.
Usual bunch of games like Final Fantasy 14 and Destiny, on and off. But main game I've been playing the past couple of days is Smash Brothers.
Which one?
Boy, is it fun. Both, Brawl and the 3DS version. I initially bought Brawl, just for a little taster of it. And then I sort of like caved and bought the 3DS version as well, and I've been playing that online.
How's your circle pad?
Good.
Yeah, because a lot of
But-
people have been saying like their circle pads have been falling off from playing too much Smash.
Oh god, no. Oh no, I mean, I don't know how you can have your circle pad fall off like that. I mean, what are people doing? Like, mashing it with a fucking hand?
Well,
or
I mean,
something?
some people manage to get their analog sticks literally like come off when they play too much SOCOM on the PS2. So
Yeah, but
anything's possible.
jeez.
I thought you were going to say they like end up grinding them down to nubs or something.
No, the circle pads, it's holding up fine. Although it is a little bit, what am I looking for? It's just not very accurate when you're using it. Like, I'd rather if I could use the D-pad for, the game, but there's no way to switch it to the D-pad, which is a bit of an issue. Other than that, it's really good, it's really fun. I'm wondering why I never got into Smash sooner, because it is so fun. It is really good, especially online. I've never...
How is the
Right, playing
netcode?
online.
Because I hear Brawl online
Um,
was pretty terrible because of the Wii.
Yeah, Brawl I've never played online. I did used to own it a couple of years ago, but never really got into it. And of course now the servers are down for the Wii. But 3DS, it's on and off. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's a little bit laggy, where there'd be a little bit slowdown and then it'll pick back up. And then other times it is just an absolute slideshow. There's times where it will actually just completely freeze and you'll have like a loading icon appear on the screen. Where
Jeez.
I'm guessing the entire game is just frozen for everybody. Although, majority of the time it's playable, and it's good. Although, there is a clear difference between the fluidity of the game when you're playing it like single player, and when you're playing it online. There is a big difference to it.
Yeah, well, that's to be expected.
Yeah, and it's like, sometimes I've had games online where it's like, I can tell that my inputs are not coming out properly because there's so much lag where I try to do one input, because I can see what's going on the screen, but then when it actually comes around to, accepting an input, it's something which I did, like a couple seconds before or something,
Yeah.
So
I'm
there's
wondering
that,
to
yeah.
see like how different the performance is of Smash Bros on the Wii U in terms of online. Like, is that just them not knowing how to create good netcode, or is that maybe just because of the 3DS, or well,
Well, I don't know. Hopefully it's going to be better, but
Yeah.
then again, it's like, I want to see how it can be the netcode. Surely the netcode would be the same for both versions,
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. But the game's really good though.
Yeah, it looks
Ring-
gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it does look good. I mean, when you're playing, I think performance-wise as well, it is generally
It's
most of the time
60 FPS.
60.
Yeah.
Except I think I've read there's a few characters where it'll
Yeah,
drop
they've
it down
decided
like
to
30.
yeah, they balance the characters by making them 30 FPS, which is a really interesting decision.
Yeah. But what else is there to say about it? I mean, game modes. It doesn't have a story mode like Brawl did. Brawl had the
Yeah, because
Subspace
Sakurai was
Emissary.
upset that people put them online or put them on YouTube, and it's just like, oh, whatever.
It's
Yeah, Nintendo is so completely in the dark on the internet.
Well,
They are
Sakurai isn't
clueless.
Nintendo. I thought he was an independent.
Well, he worked on Smash though, right?
Yeah, but that's
close
mostly
enough.
like contracted out.
Maybe it's like a disease. If you work with Nintendo, your understanding of how the internet works goes backwards. Maybe that's how it works.
Yeah. Oh my
Because
god.
they are, without question, completely backwards on the internet.
Yeah, the developers
It's like-
of Smash Brothers are Sora Limited and Bandai Namco Games. Nintendo's only a publisher.
Wait, what about Bandai?
Bandai Namco Games, they're working on it.
Oh, on Smash. What, they
Yeah.
part developing it or fully developing it?
Part developing it alongside Sora Limited. That's Sakurai's
yeah.
independent studio. I believe that
yeah, sure, right. I
that's
think
also
I've
the
read
same
about
people
that,
who
yeah.
made Kid Icarus.
Redeeming
yeah.
confirmed as playable character.
What was that?
Nothing. Carry on.
No, what'd you say?
I said Capra Demon confirmed as playable character. Now carry on.
Wow.
Yes. We need it. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, part of the stuff online as well. You've got your couple of game modes on there. You got like your fun game modes.
I thought you were talking about single player.
Was it talking about single player?
Yeah, you said there's no single player.
Apart from not having a story mode, it's got quite a lot of content really. You got all your trophies and stuff to collect. You got a couple of game modes. You got Smash Run, which is like you got 5 minutes to travel through like a really huge area that is designed after different levels in the game and different games in different series to kill enemies from all these different games, and you get like power-ups to like your attack, your defense, your speed, your jump, your special. And then after those 5 minutes, or when you die, then you go into a like a random match against the CPU. Like it could be like a one-on-one, could be like a team match, could be like a free-for-all. And then each of those characters has also been going along doing this Smash Run, and then they'll all have different stats based on what you've collected, and then you just go and fight. Problem with that, it's only local co-op. Local multiplayer. There's no online multiplayer to it, which is a bit of a shame. There's also your standard like training modes. There's classic mode, which is just arcade. There's free battles then. But there's still a good chunk of content for it, even though there's nothing like story mode or like no sort of like cutscenes. Like those cutscenes they did for each of the characters.
I loved those cutscenes. They were great.
They're not in the game.
Yeah, they said that they just
Like,
sort of replaced them with like the intros, like the newcomer and such like that. The one that like Palutena's ass too fat. That one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. But that's the thing. I mean, normally in a fighting game or a game like this, you'd have like you clear arcade mode. You get like maybe like a little cutscene or something. But in this, there's nothing like that. You get a trophy and that's it. And it's just like a scoring system.
Yeah.
Online as well. There's a few little weird things about the online, like reasons why they'd ban you. Like, for example, the first time you start up online, it gives you like a warning if there's any like unfair conduct and stuff like that. You could be, having like a temporary ban or something for a couple of minutes. Like, if you quit the game, for example, you get like a 10-minute ban and you can't like join a multiplayer game.
Well, that's fair enough. Halo does something similar, I think.
Yeah, I think. I remember Reach having something like that.
IceBear, you're the Halo expert. Tell us.
I'm struggling to recall. I mean, I didn't have any bad behavior on Halo, so I don't know exactly how the banning system.
You didn't quit to the dashboard to avoid a loss.
Not that I recall. No, I was pretty good about that usually. People did that a lot though in that game. People in like. Or at least in Halo 3, I don't know if they did it in Reach, it might have had some implementations after that, but people did used to do that quite a lot, so I'd be surprised if there were particularly stringent punishments for that, because it obviously wasn't deterring anyone, so probably not that much happening.
Maddragon, is Little Mac OP?
Yes. Yeah, I hate Little Mac.
Okay.
He seems like he's got a lot of powerful moves, and he's like a right.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of
frustrating
articles
to
about
fight.
how Little Mac is apparently overpowered. Sounds crazy
It's
to
just a
me.
lot of his moves seem very powerful, and he's really quick, and he's got some sort of like charge moves, like uppercuts and like lunging punches and stuff like that. It seems
Yeah.
really.
His
difficult
biggest
to avoid,
downside, though,
basically.
is that once you do get him off this stage, he's practically
Yeah.
gone because he can't really, get back on there.
Yeah, because certain characters have certain like different maneuverabilities, don't they? I mean, you got your heavy characters, you got your lighter characters. Some I mean, Bowser is the one I've been using the most, and he's got like a pretty good spinning attack that if you do it in the air, it actually launches himself upwards, so you get like a little bit of extra height, which is good,
Alright.
for getting back on the stage. Another thing about the banning things, like the timeouts online, it give you a message saying that if you repeatedly attack the same person, that's considered like griefing, and that you would get a ban for it,
Huh.
which just seems kind of
Wait.
ridiculous to me.
Attacking the same person in a fighting game.
Yeah. So say if you're doing a free for all, right? You're doing a free for all. It's four people free for all, and you see that there's one person already attacking another. If you go and attack that person that's getting attacked, it's like 2 against 1. You got an easier time fighting that person. You could go and get the kill on that. But if you repeatedly do that, it's considered like griefing, and that you could get banned. And that just seems ridiculous to me. Or if you're doing a team match and it's like one person, like a 2v2 team match, and you each decide to go for one particular player on the other team, you're attacking the same person then, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that that does sound a little weird. Stop ganging up on me in this fighting game.
Well, that's just.
Why do you have to be so aggressive?
I mean, it's
Well,
just
it is for
Nintendo.
children, so
Mm.
I guess that's why.
Why can't they just complain to their parents and throw a tantrum like normal kids? Why do they have to get Nintendo involved?
Maddragon, how are you finding the newcomers to perform?
Newcomers. Well, the new
How's
characters,
Pac-Man?
right?
What about Duck
Pac-Man.
Hunt Dog?
I haven't unlocked Duck Hunt.
Oh, you! Oh, I can't
Because
believe
I
you've
think the
done
only way
this.
to unlock characters is to play the single player like matches. What was the last character I unlocked? Dr. Mario. That was the last one.
Oh, god damn it, Dr. Mario! I don't like him.
I know.
Dr.
It took me,
Mario
like,
and
5
Dark
attempts.
Pit. I'd rather an empty slot.
Is Dr. Mario actually a different character, or is
I
like
think
different
he has the
moveset?
same moveset. I'm not sure.
It's just Mario in a lab coat.
Yeah.
That's his alias.
No, the newcomers. Which ones have I
He did pretty
used?
well though to get his PhD while he was like rescuing princesses.
Well, no.
Like,
See,
considering-
actually, fucking Smash Brothers for the 3DS has confirmed that a 1-up creates another Mario. So, while one Mario is going to save the princess, another Mario is getting his PhD. That's what's
So
going
it took
on.
like 50 Marios to put Dr. Mario through medical school, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
now
so
all
crazy
beginning
because,
to unravel.
like,
That's quite a lot of expectation.
they say, like, oh, a 1-up creates another Mario. There's a lot of interesting theories that can be done with this. You can just imagine all the Marios discussing it. And it's just like, did they really just come out and admit that the fucking, like, 1-up clones Mario? That's messed up. Puts all sorts of
Kinda
holes
like
into my
the-
canon.
Kind of like the swapper.
Yeah. True.
Anyway, we're probably getting slightly off track. That tends to
Maddragon.
be what happens when we discuss Nintendo and I don't know anything about the games. I'll find something inane and then I'll end up talking about that for a while. So, yeah.
The
Maddragon.
newcomers, Maddragon.
Yes,
What?
newcomers.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Haven't played him yet.
Okay, well that's great.
Mega Man. I've played a little bit.
Oh, how's he?
Kind of cool. I find it strange how like.
Actually, I
Smash
played as Mega Man
Brothers-
in the demo as well. Yeah.
It's like, well, I avoided him in the demo because it was like I just went for Link. I think was the one I played most in the demo. But
It was alright.
I find it strange how like Smash Brothers, a Nintendo like licensed game and stuff, does a better job of representing Mega Man than Capcom do themselves.
Yeah.
The character
sad.
itself was really good. The stage and the music as well was really good.
The remixes,
Yeah, I know.
the
Really
remixes
good.
in Smash are always great. How are the ones in 3DS or Smash 4 3DS? Puns.
Really good. Really good. Have a look. Other newcomers, let's have a look. I haven't used the Villager yet.
That was Liam's favorite.
Yeah, I'm a little bit afraid to.
What's its name?
It's from Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
That's it. I wasn't even close. I was like tiny town town of Leaf. Yeah.
So like Shulk from Xenoblade, he's pretty good as well.
I
I've
keep
used him once or
thinking of
twice.
She-Hulk every time someone says that. I'm like, why the fuck does everyone watch She-Hulk in Smash Bros? What about Shulk?
What other newcomers are there?
Lucina?
Lucina haven't used. Greninja
Rosalina?
haven't used. Rosalina haven't used.
Oh
Probably
my
never
god,
will.
have you even played the game?
Yes. Well, the only right. Take it this way.
Well,
All
this
the
is
Mario
Maddragon.
characters. Yeah. I'll only ever use Bowser and Yoshi. I don't give a damn about any of the other characters in Mario.
Yoshi
So, like-
was always my favorite in Mario
Yeah,
Kart.
Yoshi's good. Yoshi's really good and fun. He was quick in the game. Is Charizard a newcomer?
No, he
don't
was
think so.
in
I think he
there
was in
since
Smash before.
Brawl.
Yeah, but in Smash Brawl, he was part of the Pokemon trainer. And then
That's
he
true.
switched
Oh,
over between
Greninja! Have you played Greninja?
Squirrel. No, I haven't. No, he seems
Ah.
pretty good though. Let's have a look. I think that's about it. I haven't played any other newcomers.
Besides none of them.
Yeah. I've literally only been.
Do you
playing
have a list of
as
newcomers?
Bowser and Charizard.
If not, I can look it up.
Well, I'm looking at like a photo of the screen of the character select screen. There's like Shulk, Pac-Man, Mega Man. Is Olimar a newcomer?
No.
No. We got Villager, Wii Fit Trainer, which seems really random.
Wii Fit Trainer, Jesus.
I know.
Scraping the barrel there.
Lucina, Greninja.
I love the
Rosalina.
fact that when Wii Fit Trainer came out
Tenor.
and it was announced, like the day after, like so much Rule 34 of Wii Fit Trainer.
Oh god.
Hmm.
Look. That's pretty much it. There's Little Mac,
Oh!
Duck Hunt Dog,
No, never mind. You said Shulk.
Wally, Robot.
Oh,
I
Rob!
don't know. Rob. Where's he from, anyway?
He's from the Nintendo Entertainment System. He's the toy that came along with it.
Oh, right, that's probably why.
Robotic operating buddy.
Wow, I'm disappointed you didn't know that.
Hey, I have Mega Drive, okay? There you go.
Oh, what
You
about
didn't
your
get a
me?
cool, awesome robot like the Nintendo came with. That was not very useful at all. But
What about your
I
me?
still have mine.
How's your me?
Haven't used it yet.
Oh.
Actually, no, wait, I lie. I did try it out in training mode and customize it a little bit. You can select like between a fighter, swordsman, or a gunner, I think, battle style. I tried the fighter, and it's like a martial arts, like kicks and punches sort of style, and it really is pretty good, actually. Pretty fun.
Okay.
Probably won't use it that much, though. 'cause
Real quick though, Vertigo, you were going to say something about
I
Rob?
just said that I still actually have my Rob somewhere.
That's adorable.
It sure is.
What about Bowser Jr.? How's Bowser Jr.?
I don't
He's
know.
a newcomer.
I don't think I've used him. Is he unlockable, or is he unlocked straight away?
I don't know. I'm just looking at the
I don't know.
Wikipedia thing.
I haven't used him yet, though, anyway, and I don't think he's unlocked. That's probably why I haven't used him.
Yeah, he's unlockable. What about Dark Pit?
Dark Pit, I haven't used him, but I think he's just a carbon copy of Pit, isn't he? I think he's supposed
Differences
to be,
from
yeah.
Pit. Power of Flight covers more distance. Down smash and back aerial deal slightly more knockback. There's minor differences, but yeah.
But the moveset is generally...
It's generally the same, yeah. It's just altered
Little
slightly.
technical difficulties.
I love Pitu, though. In Kid Icarus Uprising, he was hilarious.
Still need to play that game.
Hand cramps! Oh!
I know.
The controls
like,
are the worst part of the game. Everything else is great. Just the fucking gameplay sucks ass.
So guys, I know how much we love to spend time talking about additional fighting game characters.
Should we
Do you
move
think
on?
We should
Move on?
maybe.
Maybe?
Okay,
you know.
okay. Alright, my turn.
Unless you had more
to
to
talk.
add, of course.
Holy shit, we've been going for an hour.
Yeah,
Almost.
that was my consideration at the time.
Alright, so I've been playing Bloodborne played the alpha. That's really fun.
Nice.
Really fun. It took me a while to learn that triangle is to use the sort of Estus in this game. That was really weird to get used to because I kept pressing square trying to use it. And I was like, no, I'm never gonna get used to this. Aside from that, it's Dark Souls. It's really Dark Souls. Like, even the sort of additions that were made in Dark Souls 2, like jumping with L3 or sprinting up ladders, those have been removed, and it's just like Dark Souls. Also, bodies, you can move them around by walking over them, and they freak out, like in Dark Souls. Because, in Dark Souls 2, they were just permanently on the ground. And they didn't react to anything, but, oh, it's so good that that's back. I like how much more aggressive Bloodborne is because you don't have a shield. Instead, you get a shotgun or a torch. And the torch has this really interesting ability to sort of be a combo weapon because you can normally attack them with the torch and set them on fire that way. But it doesn't set them on fire, but you can sort of burn them and it'll deal a little bit of damage. But you can get a throwable weapon, which is oil, and you can throw that onto an enemy, and then you can use your torch as an attack, and that will set them on fire, dealing massive damage, and that is awesome. And I love the fact that they don't tell you that you have to figure it out yourself through experimentation. That is cool. Another thing that is really cool and really helps encourage aggressive gameplay is when you get hit, you don't always lose your health. So you know how in Dark Souls, when you get hit, your health meter sort of goes yellow for a split second? Yeah?
Sure.
Like the damage it shows that's been taken off. It goes yellow and then it goes away.
Yeah, now I recall. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you have
in
a chance to gain that
Bloodborne,
back or something. That's right.
yeah, you can get the health back by attacking the enemies. So you essentially take their blood and use it to make yourself stronger or get your health back. And so that's really cool. It does
Just
sort
a
of make
top-up.
it did sort of make the first boss you fight in Bloodborne a bit easy. I beat it on my first shot because what I just did was I stood right underneath it, and as it was attacking me, it would deal damage, but I would just attack it quick enough so that I essentially was immortal. And I just did that repeatedly until it died. I didn't even know what was
Dark
going
Souls
on.
was all about exploits, really. So
That's true. But I didn't even know what was going on with the boss fight. I didn't really think tactically or anything like that. I just sort of stood in between its legs and spammed R2 and R1. Oh, also, I like how each weapon has two different modes. Like, you can press L1 to get a sort of smaller sword, or you can press L1 to get a very long sword with a longer reach, but it takes longer to swing it. That's really cool. So you get a lot more variety for your weapons. Also, there's one taunt where the guy brushes his cape and it looks really pretty. The game is really pretty.
Looks pretty.
God, it's so gorgeous. You know what Dark Souls 2 looked like before they decided to come out with the actual game, in the previews? That's what Bloodborne looks like. It looks like what Dark Souls 2 was trying to do. There are actual sections where it was so dark, I decided to get out my torch to see, and it's like, this is what Dark Souls 2 was trying to be.
It's what it should have been like.
Bloodborne is Dark Souls 2. Whatever. Bloodborne is great. I am picking it up when it comes out.
So, let's have a look. The atmosphere about the game. What does it feel like when you're playing it?
It feels like Resident Evil 4, the very starting
Really?
it sort of reminded me of Resident Evil 4. So when at the start of Resident Evil 4, when all the Ganados are at the village and they're all around this burning thing, they're at they've put the police officers on the spikes and that's burning and stuff like that, and they're sort of all zombies that aren't really smart. It has a similar feel to that. It's like this oppressive feeling, like shit's messed up, something's not right here.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it does. It still has that sort of pseudo survival horror sort of atmosphere to it, while still being an RPG, an action RPG.
Yeah, it just makes me really interested to what the whole lore of the game is going to be like.
Yeah, I'm interested in that as well.
the bloodborne like disease that's going around or something like that, isn't it? And people transforming into beasts and like the first boss
something
is like
I forgot to
some
mention.
sort of werewolf.
Werewolf. There are werewolf hunters, and there's also werewolves, and so you have this sort of like you can get a werewolf hunter to help you fight the werewolves, but he won't attack you. And that was so cool to figure out.
An NPC, is it?
Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
meant there was going to be a romantic subplot about two unlikely buddies. Oh well, I guess that'll do. Also, I commend Bloodborne. Bloodborne is just called Bloodborne, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I commend it on just being called Bloodborne and not having like a colon and then
Yes,
the title.
no colon. That's good as well. Just called Bloodborne. That's an awesome title. Not Bloodborne, Revengeance.
That's pretty much an automatic pass for Game of the Year consideration, these days.
So in the alpha, it was the alpha, wasn't it?
Yes.
Beta. Yeah, alpha. Did you have like a selection of different classes to play as when you?
Yeah, you had 4
games?
classes to play as. I only picked the standard class because, my brother did initially, and then we were like, all right, we'll swap the controller back and forth every time we die. Because technically, he's the one who signed up to the alpha. Also, he's the one who signed the NDA, not me, so I can talk about it.
That's true.
Well, surely we're allowed to talk about it. It's just like,
How dare you say the Bloodborne Alpha's good? Now other people are going to try and make a game.
No, don't do that.
Sorry, it's not Nintendo. They won't. Or Capcom, for that matter. They won't do anything. I dare them to do something about it.
Don't
I dare
dare
them to take this video down.
Um,
There's the gauntlet thrown down.
Another thing that was pretty cool is that there was this foul-smelling medicine, or foul-smelling pill, and that is a medicine, and you can take that to slowly regenerate your health over time. I thought that was a pretty interesting addition, since I don't think there's anything like that in Dark Souls.
How does a pill go off? How old is that pill?
Probably
Sounds like the kind of
pretty
shit
damn
that
old.
Dr. Mario would pull.
I'm just picturing Dr. Mario like all bloodied and stuff, going through Bloodborne.
I think he specializes more in herbal remedies, mushrooms and such.
Well, Dark Souls 2 had those heal over time items. Those
Yeah,
serums.
but I meant like specifically Dark Souls 1, since the game's
It's
practically an evolution of Dark Souls 1.
Well,
Apart from
Demon
spells,
Souls
I think.
also had hot heal over time, I think.
Did it?
Why would they
I
get
think
rid of
so.
it?
I think that, the Dark Souls and Demon Souls, I think there's spells that heal over time and items and stuff, but I don't think there's actual items that do regen, like the Estus shards or whatever. No, not shards. What are they called? Life gems.
Yeah.
In Dark Souls 2, I don't think there's actually a regen unless I've forgotten.
The foul-smelling pill is more like the shard thing. What the fuck did you say? Life gem. Fuck, sorry.
Life gem. Yeah.
I'm out of it.
We haven't talked about Dark Souls for so long. We're forgetting things about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you not been talking about Dark Souls every week when I've been away?
No.
Well, since we do
can't
the
believe that
podcast
I'm the
fortnightly,
common factor
no, we
in-
haven't.
Well, that's true. Yeah. God, it sure is strange to be in the middle of October already. Getting towards the end, in fact. What is it, the 18th today? Wow. There we go. We got it.
But yeah, that's what it's like, the life gem thing. So it's pretty cool to see how they have that in this, but it's a bit weird since it wasn't in Dark Souls, so it's like, whoa, this is new, when in reality it's sort of not really.
It's kind of weird when Bloodborne isn't exactly the same as Dark Souls.
Well, everything else is, because
Yeah.
when it even does that little jump thing where you have to hold down circle and then let go of it and then press it. And
Oh, wow. Why?
It's
Oh,
man,
dear.
I love it. Bloodborne's really
Love it.
good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. No, it sounds quite promising.
Frame rate's a bit shit in places, but I don't
Yeah, I
think
noticed
that'll
that
actually
on
change.
I noticed that when they first showed it, there were quite a lot of frame rate drops in the E3 gameplay footage.
Yeah, that's what I played, the alpha of that
Yeah,
E3 stuff.
Hopefully they'll improve that by
Have
release.
you played the other Souls games? Because it seemed about like what you'd expect from a Souls game, to be honest. Like lots of
but it's
frame
like-
rate drops and
like
stuff like
Dark
that.
Souls 2
Well, yeah,
didn't
this
have
is
many.
true. I've been to Blighttown. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what were you saying, Maddragon? Dark Souls 2?
Wasn't
Well,
as bad.
Yeah, it wasn't
Ah.
as bad. I mean, it had a more consistent frame rate. It's like I don't think there's any specific areas where I remember it being a really huge drop in frame rate.
And
Dark
also,
Souls
it
2.
was more graphically. Well, it was of a higher standard, wasn't it, as well? So.
Yeah, it was overall a higher standard.
Yeah. Well, what I mean is that Dark Souls 1 both looks terrible and also doesn't run very well. Well, no, it doesn't look terrible. Some places look nice, but some places are a bit dated. Well, all of it's a bit dated, but some of them look nice. Yeah, there we go.
Saved your skin.
Oh, no one cares. It's fine.
No, I care. Gotta get your skin bare.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Ravens
I'll
are
hang on to
known
my
to
skin.
eat bears.
That's happened.
But yeah, Bloodborne's really good. I like it. Any questions?
I think we probably asked them.
Any more questions?
Well, I'm fine. I don't know about you guys.
Music's good.
That was on the tip of my tongue.
Vertigo, what have you been playing? And by that, how's Dead Rising 3?
Yeah. So I finally finished Dead Rising 3. Technically, I started that game the day the Xbox One came out, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
But as with every console game, I pretty much never finish console games. So same with Dead Rising 3, I enjoyed it, but I never really went back to it, especially because I can't record it because I don't have a capture card. And then when it was announced for PC, I was like, well, I'll just buy it again when it's PC and beat it on there. So I beat the main campaign and the overtime campaign. I'm going to start the DLC soon. But overall, I really liked it. I definitely feel like if you like the other games, you'll like this one. All those worries about... Because I know when the game was first coming out, people were like, oh, it looks like it's going to be gritty and serious, and they're taking it to a different direction. It's not going to be wacky and strange. And no, they did not do that.
Yeah, the advertising was pretty misleading.
That's the Xbox One marketing, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
because they're
really weird,
appealing
though.
to a specific demographic. They're appealing to the COD bros. And Dead Rising 3 isn't that, so they had to pick out some very select scenes, and that ended up alienating the actual Dead Rising fans, so...
Well, you see, I would have thought that even people who just play Call of Duty, it's not like they hate fun or anything like that. I don't think they'd have been that.
Oh yeah, that's
opposed to
true,
see
because I mean, like,
Dead Rising in its,
the
you know,
Nazi Zombies is a fucking game mode that's super popular in Call of Duty, and that's not particularly serious. You can't say Nazi zombies with a straight face.
Showing him running around in a summer dress or a GIMP outfit and shooting zombies in the face with a dildo shooting gun, which, by the way, all of that actually does exist in the game.
Wow, that's a dildo shooting gun. That sounds like something from Saints Row.
Yes,
I was going to say Deep Silver are going to have to roll their sleeves up here.
We should crank it up to another notch. There's no dubstep gun though, so that's unfortunate.
Oh yeah.
But,
That's a plus in my book.
I did beat the challenge to kill 150 zombies with the dildo shooting gun, so that was pretty sweet.
I have a question. Is there like an achievement for killing like 51,183 zombies?
That specific number I don't remember. There is one for killing 100,004 zombies.
Oh,
Achievement is something like left 100,004 for dead or something like that. Basically, Left 4 Dead reference. Because at first I was like, why is it 100,004? And then I realized the achievement of it now. But I see, I beat the game, and I think I'm at about 30,000-ish zombies killed, something like that.
Oh wow.
That's just a rough guess. But once you get into vehicles, it's pretty easy to mass slaughter. And some of the guns and various items you get in the game are just ridiculously overpowered, which is great. I love it. But it's it's the same weird, wacky crap where you're putting together these completely asinine weapons, wearing these ridiculous clothes. It's incredibly brutal and bloody. It's great. If you love that kind of stuff, then it's great. If you didn't like the other Dead Rising games, if you thought they got too repetitive or got kind of old,
Is there a
hit, like,
time limit or anything like
limits.
that? Wait, how many save files can you have?
You can save whenever you want.
No, I mean like save
have
files.
more
Like, can
than
you
one.
have 3 separate save games or?
No, I don't think so. You still
Oh.
have time limits, but the time limit is very generous. I tend to explore a lot, and I got most of the blueprints. I got basically I got most of the collectibles, and still had a pretty decent amount of time left before I beat the game.
Had a
And
cheeky pint before you got onto the story missions.
right, and on top of that, and this is including me doing like every single side mission. The only side mission I didn't do was because I had 2 followers with me, and I had given them guns. And one of the side stories was you're supposed to talk to this guy and like go get meat for his like pet zombies. But my AI was stupid, so they shot and killed the zombies, and he got really pissed and attacked me. So that's pretty
Stupid
much the
AI.
only
There was a
side quest.
pet zombie.
Right, like he had him stuck in a
Yeah.
pool or something. I don't know, I
Right.
forget. But he was like,
Mm.
"Oh, you got to feed my pets, or they're gonna die."
Mm.
All the stuff in that game is just completely asinine. The quests they send you on, the psychos. I'm sure plenty. I'm actually surprised we didn't hear more of like a lot of crying and hand wringing over the bosses. There's a lot of stereotypical bosses in the game that many people these days would find grossly offensive. So I'm actually surprised we didn't hear more about that, which I'm glad we didn't because we hear enough
You
of
mean
it.
the
But they're
Saints
all
Row
supposed
never
to
really.
be like
well,
complete caricatures. For example, there was like the huge nerd. Like he's got the glasses, he's got the bad acne, he's got like the totally nerd voice, and he's you talk about how I trained all this time in my mom's basement on these computer games and with my D&D group, and now I can't even kill a single zombie or whatever it is. So I mean, all this stuff is pretty,
I always
funny and
found that
tongue-in-cheek.
weird because it's like the game is
Because it's so accurate to your life.
No, because
Get out of my head.
it's like what Yahtzee said. It's like gamers are the sort of people you don't want to piss off in your game because they're the ones playing your game. I just find that always
Honestly, if
funny.
you're playing the game and you get pissed at that, that's your own damn fault. Like,
That's fair enough.
obviously, none of that is supposed to be taken seriously. I mean, you got to keep in mind on the flip side, the people who made it are probably gamers too. So
Yeah.
it's
I don't
not
know.
meant to be taken
Capcom.
seriously. There's something called satire that many people have kind of forgotten exists.
Also,
Where
yeah,
you-
Capcom.
Isn't that a French cuisine?
Capcom wrote this,
Yes.
so you kind of got to make allowances for that, surely.
And the thing is, like, yes, it's stereotypes, but growing up a nerd, I've known so many people like that. It's funny because, oh, haha, typical nerd, but it's like, oh, haha, I've known people a lot like this that match this stereotype. But I mean, it's all supposed to be in good fun.
Yeah.
But it obviously, again, a lot of the quests are completely ridiculous. And like I said, that's the way I want it. I want it completely ridiculous and asinine.
I think that's the thing, really, is what the difference is between people getting quite irate about that sort of thing and people letting it slide is whether they're doing it to sort of make themselves look really smart by picking on a certain demographic, or if they're just doing it for the sake of parody and being
mean.
totally ridiculous. So like,
Right.
like Saints Row, like most of the characters are just like overblown and over the top and whatnot, and compared to, say, GTA 5, it doesn't get nearly as much bad press because GTA 5 tries to pass itself as more satirical than just ridiculous. And that tends to wind people up a lot more.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being the case, but apparently nobody cared enough to really complain about it.
Yeah,
I
the
don't-
only complaint I saw about like Dead Rising 3 from being like too insensitive is the female bodybuilder. Apparently that was bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one was pretty amusing / bad. I think even when I was doing my Let's Play of it on youtube.com/Vertigo Tea Party, that I think I made a comment like, "Oh my god!" I'm sure people are gonna freak out over this one.
Oh yeah,
But,
they have.
There was plenty of people in groups to be offended by in that, because there was somebody who was like a combination cross-dresser and had what's that, split personality So yeah, like
Schizophrenia?
Bipolar?
no, like actual like split personality, like
Okay.
I'm two people inside of one.
Multiple
kind of thing.
personality
But
disorder?
Headmates.
yeah, multiple personalities. There we go. Yeah,
All right, yeah, that's the
like,
one.
yeah. So yeah, there's plenty of stuff to offend. So if you're easily offended, definitely do not play that game. And like I say, I can totally get people not liking it for the repetitiveness, because after a while, I could see people getting bored of just making a bunch of weapons and slaughtering zombies, and it's kind of the same thing over and over again. I can totally understand not liking the game for that. And if you're the type of person who gets bored of that kind of thing, then maybe skip it. Or if you play it, just stick to the main quests, ignore the side stuff. But yeah, I love it. There's a lot of stuff to collect. There's a lot of side missions to do. There's a lot of quests or a lot of side things. There's speakers that you can destroy. There's tragic endings that you can find, blueprints that help you make better weapons. Because not only that's really not, I don't know if I classify that as collectible, because blueprints actually help you get better weapons, which makes you better at killing hordes and hordes of zombies. But there's also Frank West statues, of course. Rest in peace, Frank West. Actually, I don't think
He's covered wars,
Yeah, he has covered wars. He is covered. I don't think a lot of people realize that. But every time you pick up one of his statues, it makes the camera snapping sound from the first game, and every time I go fantastic. That game had some of the most greatest little sound clips that only people who really played it really get. That and watching him deep throat a baguette was absolutely burned into my mind forever. That's another thing. It's like it's one of the things that I don't ever want them to fix. Is how they eat food. Like when you grab a bag of chips to eat it, you don't open it and pour the bag of chips. You just in the palm of your hand, just shove the bag of chips in your face, and then that's it. That's you eat it. I don't ever want that to change.
Take a bite of an orange juice carton.
Yeah. You actually do drink drinks, and there's no coffee creamer in this game. That's one thing I loved in the first game was you drink coffee creamer, which I don't really drink coffee, but that just sounds gross to drink the coffee creamer by itself. Maybe that's not gross, but to me it seems gross. Maybe because I think coffee's gross. But anyway, yeah, there's just a lot of just dumb stuff that I don't ever want to change, like the ridiculous physics of the zombies bouncing off of your hood or throwing them into space. I don't want to go to space, but shooting them up really high.
Team Rocket style.
Don't ever fix it. It's kind of like how I was depressed that Dark Souls 2 fixed the body kick mechanics, where the bodies lose all weight and just cling to you when you're running through them.
Yeah, that's so good. I know.
That is so goofy that
and they brought it back in Bloodborne. Therefore, it is the real successor. Yes, they did.
Okay, well then that's game of the year again, obviously, right there. But yeah, Dead Rising 3 overall it's good. If I had said any negatives, I would say it is repetitive.
How's the voice acting?
I don't like doing that. The voice acting's good overall. Some of the ones where the voice acting's not so good, I kind of wonder if it's bad voice acting or just that character
or
is
intentional
supposed to be that way. So it kind of works.
Mm.
The story itself was, I mean, it was all right. There were some of the characters I liked, some of the characters I didn't like. It was, the ending was kind of, parts of the ending I'll say were pretty predictable. I didn't play it for the story for sure, but yeah, it was interesting enough.
You don't play Capcom games for the story?
I know, right?
Man, you are one weirdo.
Put their blood, sweat, and tears into those games.
It's unfortunate that they couldn't get 60 FPS native to work. You can get it to work by fiddling with the files. I didn't bother since I was recording. It doesn't run all that well. I mean, you do. I say it doesn't run that well, but at the same time, you have to remember there's often literally hundreds of zombies on the screen at one time.
And what resolution are you playing at?
Their own thing. And that's cool too. Like the zombies all look different. Like they have randomized clothes. So you can look at a crowd of 20, 30 zombies and not find two that are identical, which is pretty cool. Like it mixes it up a good bit. It's not like, oh, you see the same 5 male and 5 female zombies everywhere. So that's pretty neat. If there's other worries as far as negatives, the time limit is still there. I know that's always been one of the main complaints about the Dead Rising series. Totally understandably. The first one, it was brutal. The save system
in the first one, They
Brutal
did
first.
fix it in the Wii port.
Oh, did they? Well, I'll
Yeah.
have to get that version of the game.
The funny thing
Not.
is though, like the main selling point of Dead Rising 1 is so many zombies to kill. In the Wii version, there's like maybe half a dozen zombies on screen at once. And it's like,
Yeah, I watched Manga Minx's LP of that, I think, way back in the day, and yeah, it was pretty weak.
I gotta buy it.
No, get the real versions. Otherwise,
getting it.
the save system, you can save anywhere, which is nice, but if you like reload, it takes you back to a garage. It doesn't take you back to where you were. And, I mean, that's a relatively minor complaint. It is again, time limits are there, but they're very generous. But the existence of a time limit might annoy some people, which again, understandable. Other than that,
Dead Rising Chop
It was
Till You
really-
Drop is only $30. Ooh, free postage. Sweet.
it's also a bit too easy. I think I did play it on normal, though. To be fair, I did not die a single time.
You didn't play it on Nightmare or whatever it's called?
I don't think you can by default. Can you? I could be wrong.
I'm not
Normal
sure. I
mode
just know
should
there's
be a
achievements
standard
for it.
degree of difficulty, really.
Yeah, normal. Like I probably should have done it a couple times. I feel like I only really got close to dying once. But yeah, it was pretty easy overall.
How were the
I
load
kinda wish I'd have played
times?
on hard now, but whatevs. And the psycho battles are better than they used to be. The psycho battles used to be one of the worst things about the game. Like they were just super frustrating. That also helps because I usually had companions with me, and companions can trivialize some of those boss fights. Like it's a joke. But anyway, that's enough about Dead Rising.
No, wait.
3.
How
Good
are the
game.
load
If you like the
times?
other ones, pick it up. What?
How are the load times?
There's only one load time.
Okay.
and you're very
Because I
frustrated.
remember I was watching some live streams of the Xbox One version at launch day, and Dead Rising 3 had some pretty bad load times.
The
Wow.
initial load is pretty rough. Even on SSD drive, it can take a while to load the game the first time. Maybe
What about when
20,
you
30
die and
seconds?
have to respawn? Because that's when I saw the most,
don't
like...
know.
Oh.
I never died.
Oh yeah.
That's... Yeah, I guess... Oh,
So,
well, right.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I
That's
guess
it-
the
that's
load
your
times are
solution.
bad if you suck at Dead Rising 3.
Yeah, then I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's a load once game. Like once you're in the game and
That's
you don't
good.
die, you just drive from place to place. There's never a load time, which is nice. But yeah,
Gotta
Dead Rising
agree.
3. Buy it if you like the other games.
All right, let's go on to the topics of discussion now that we're like 7 years into the podcast. Steam gets a major overhaul, discovery, update, and curators. What do you guys think of this?
I think it's awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I haven't really profited from it much, but I haven't really explored it much. But it can only be a good thing, really.
So one thing I find interesting about the curator system, and I noticed this kind of early on, was that because I thought of it myself, and then I thought, oh God, I was like, this is going to be broken. Is that if you're someone who wants to use the curator system, not just as a way to share games you like, but also as a way to get your content out there, which I also want to do, then you are encouraged to add games that no one else has added, and add them quick to your curator list. Because if you're not familiar with it, if you open up the Steam page for a game, you'll see the curators or who have added that game to their list.
Okay.
Within certain caveats, they've changed this.
Yeah, you need at least
forget what it is.
3,000 followers on your curator list to be showed up on the Steam store page.
Right, which I definitely want to talk about that too. But I found that you want to add games, even if you don't like the game. Hell, if you've never even played it, you want to add them so that your curator page shows up. Now, of course, you could argue that if you do that and people join your list and just see you've got a bunch of crappy random games in your list, then they might be inclined to unfollow you and never watch your stuff again. But I could see that as being an abusable thing. But again, adding games you don't even really like that much to your curator queue.
There are certainly plenty of games that are popular enough that your endorsement wouldn't smack of, desperation, but ultimately, a lot of critics don't particularly side with them. So, I can see how that would end up
Well,
working like that.
Total
It does seem
Biscuit
like
is- Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Well, I was going to say with the what you've been talking about, it does seem like right from the start the system's immediately rigged against people who haven't established themselves on other mediums first anyway. If it takes that much to get featured in any way, then again, I guess that's the way with all these things, and YouTube as well.
Yeah.
The
Total Biscuit
Go ahead.
actually said that in total from like he's the most popular curator and he's got tons of recommendations across all of Steam, and he's the first person you see practically always, unless you're following someone else, that he hasn't really seen that many views at all. Like I think he said he only saw like maybe 10,000, and like that's practically nothing for someone like TB.
Sure. Yeah.
So even though
Right.
he's got like 100,000 followers on Steam's curator thing, just doesn't really add up.
Well, there could be people who already watch his stuff, though, couldn't they? So
Yeah.
wouldn't that mean that there wouldn't be a noticeable increase? Because this is, well, at least for the start of it, obviously there's been this initial surge to established, curators and reviewers and, journalists and the like. They will have had the immediate initial surge towards their stuff, and it'll be from people who already use their content.
Yeah.
So
And there's
like
also
it's not really much of a discovery system or a profile boosting system at all anymore, really, when you think about it, because it's difficult for newer or less popular creators to get any particular degree of discovery or recognition for what they have done on it, and also a lot of the people. It's almost just translating fan bases across from other platforms such as YouTube and whatnot. So it doesn't seem like it's offering any kind of mobility to the lower tiers of.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that they're trying to create a system where curators can be found through it. I think it's definitely more like, oh, I'm popular on Twitter or Tumblr or whatever. Why don't you come follow me and see the games that I recommend?
And I guess Valve technically doesn't have an obligation to, help other people boost their
well,
profiles
because
on
this
Steam
is
and whatnot. But...
because this is their way of figuring out how to get more games recognized. I doubt they particularly care too much about getting the curators recognized, unless they also want to create a curator list. And
well, it's not getting
exists,
more games.
Curators all the way down.
It's more about getting the right games recognized, isn't it? Now that they're sort of opening the floodgates and whatnot.
Yeah, that's true.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with that, and I agree that that's what it should be focused on more. Is I think the focus, if you take it at a totally abstract level here, is that it should be so that you find people with similar tastes than you do.
Yeah.
And then you follow them as curators to see what other games you might like because you share similar tastes. Now, whether that's somebody with 1 billion followers or somebody with 5 followers should be mostly inconsequential. And that's my issue with not showing curators who don't have many followers, because it becomes kind of a rich get richer type thing, because, well, the ones who are already big are just going to get more because they see, oh, I keep seeing this person curating games that I like, I'm going to follow them. So they just get more people. And then the people who have these curation lists that don't have many followers never get seen because, well, they literally aren't showing up at all. I think the game owner can choose to allow these specific smaller curators to show up in the list. I don't recall.
They can
But
also
I
decide
think they
to
have more
remove
control.
certain people.
So
if they
curate
hate TB,
who's
they can
curating
remove them.
their thing. So basically, if somebody puts it on their curation list but gives it a bad review, for example.
Yeah, I've been seeing that, and that really puzzles me. This is a list of games you recommend. We hate this game. Read the full review. It's like, what the fuck is it doing on here? There should be a list of good games.
What I also hate is, and a lot of the actually bigger curators that I look do this, where they put something they're trying to be funny in their description of the game.
You're talking
Like
about
they're trying to
Nerd
be
Cubed?
Yeah, that's actually exactly who I was talking about. Like, totally, like, just trying to be like, oh, I'm making a little joke, and it's always not funny. But I'm like, how about you talk a little bit about the game? Like,
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I try to actually do mine right because I'll be honest. Like, I thought first of all it'd be a kind of a cool way for people that like my channel and whatnot to know the games that I like that maybe I don't talk about or don't cover, but
Sure.
also as a way, yes, to kind of show like, oh, I like Pharaoh and Caesar, and this guy keeps recommending those. I'll follow his thing, whatever.
Yeah,
But I
like
actually
you,
try to put
I'm
useful
following
stuff
you, and
in the
I've already
description.
found games like that are interesting because of that, like the Kingpin one.
Yeah, Kingpin.
Yeah, that looks
You should play
cool.
that game, but bleep out every time it says the F word. Have fun with that, by the way.
Okay. No.
But yeah, like, so that's kind of the other part of that I like. So I try to actually put descriptions, and it's very little space, and I try to avoid things like this, like Half-Life 2. This is a game where you play as Gordon Freeman and shoot people. It's like, well, yes, we know that. I actually try to give a little bit more information than what you can read on the Steam page, right? But yeah, I wish it could be done in a better way so that, because it doesn't, GOG has some, and I haven't looked in this extensively, but GOG.com has lists of games. And yes, it does rate them by popularity, but it tends to be,
I believe TB is also top there, but yeah.
well, right. But when I look at a game, I'll see multiple lists, but I'll see all kinds of lists. And I've seen lists that have like very few followers, if I recall correctly.
Kind
So
of like
it doesn't limit
IMDb
it.
then. Just as an example. I don't know why that jumped out. But...
Right, I haven't checked the one on IMDb, but yeah, like something like that, so that you could actually follow the, like, again, the point should be finding curators who have similar interests to you, or specific, like some of the very specific curation lists, like these are JRPGs, these are good Western RPGs, these are good old school FPS curation lists, things like that. That's what I think the system should be geared for. And I think right now it doesn't really do that. It more favors people who would just have lots of followers from, like you say, like YouTube, Twitch, whatever, that are following them. That's kind of my complaint. I still think it's a good system overall, though.
But yeah, it depends on what Steam's outlook is on it, because obviously it has the recommendation system. So technically, I suppose from Valve's point of view, if you wanted something that was gonna, well, I mean, the recommendation system, I haven't found it to be particularly useful, but
It's more useful now than it was a few years ago, though. God damn, it used to be fucking pointless. All it would do was recommend games that are on your wish list. It's like, I know I want those. They're on my wish list.
Oh, it's still doing that for me, but
Have you tried scrolling down on the
games
main page?
Popular, but I thought the idea was that the recommendation system is sort of highlighting those options, and then the curation system more is like a form of verification, just to check with someone who's already tried it, or possibly just to see if the game's not malware, seeing as Steam's kind of adopting an anything goes policy with with putting stuff on there. But yeah, no, I guess it's not a perfect system just yet, but it's an improvement certainly.
And it's early on still, so
yeah, that's
I
true.
think it's still neat. I do like the interface overall as well. The new interface,
yeah,
it's
like very blue.
I hate it.
Really?
Well, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't devote.
Yeah, I remember you saying you had some complaints about it. Why is that? I think it's gorgeous, and I think you're insane.
It's just a load of it's like a series of boxes. It's like someone's sort of seen a house and like put cling film on all the furniture and stacked all the chairs and stuff so that it's neat and tidy, but it looks awful.
Boys, it sounds like we have a defector. Oh, I screwed that up. Never mind. Forget it.
Yeah.
Either way, let's kill him.
Dissenter, maybe.
Dissenter, yeah.
I'm offering a dissenting opinion.
Now, I'm talking more like breaking rank. Your trade, I don't know. Forget it. That's gone.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah, the moment has gone. By all means.
Oh. The recommendation system actually seems to be pretty decent for me, because like it's recommending games that I'm actually pretty interested in. Like, I recently looked at the My Magic X Legacy store page because I'm thinking about buying that, and now it's recommending games that are similar to it and that I might be interested in buying, like Divinity Original Sin or Wasteland 2 or Wizardry A. And it's like, yeah, I'd be interested in those.
It was more obvious to begin with, and also, like, I remember my queue, especially my recommendation queue, was literally just everything that was featured on the front page of Steam, and it said this was recommended because it was popular for all of them, pretty much.
Yeah, that happens.
And so yeah, that was pretty useless to begin with. But I guess it's sort of getting a bit more sophisticated because obviously it's kind of learning your preferences. So
Yeah.
I guess
It
that will
definitely
improve over
learns
time.
more about you as you go on. I've noticed I've been getting less free-to-play anime MMOs, although that might just be because I've clicked not interested on all of them.
Yeah. No, yeah, like I've got a lot of RPGs recommended to me right now, for example. And it's recommending Contrast again, and it's on sale. I'm probably going to cave one of these days. But
Contrast? Wait, what is that one?
it's the puzzle platformer with shadows.
Unless they fixed it, I'd say maybe skip that.
Sure thing.
I played it on, what was it, PS4, right?
Yeah, it was PS
free
Plus.
on PS4.
Yeah, it was like a launch title, I think.
Yeah, that was
I
the
didn't
first game I
really-
ever finished on PS4.
Really? I didn't finish it. It was pretty buggy and pretty bland.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the
Never
frame
mind.
rate
What
was
do you
pretty janky as well.
No, I
What do you
imagine
think
that would
about
be
it?
fixed on PC, but yeah.
Valorous Raven?
What?
Words. You said you finished it, right?
Yeah.
What'd you think of it?
It was meh.
Yeah.
Okay, strong recommendations there. Well, there you go. There's the curation system. That's the system in action, in fact. Ooh, Contrast has been recommended to me because even though I kind of hate platforming, I do play a lot of puzzle platformers.
To
Let
be
me
fair,
just
though,
check
the
with
voice acting
with
is
some
pretty
people I
good.
trust as to whether or not this game's any good. No, it's kind of
See,
meh.
like,
Okay,
my-
then I won't buy it. There you go.
My
There's the system.
recommendations tend to be very random. I think it's because I do so many Let's Tries. Steam's just like, I have no idea. Like, you apparently will play anything we put in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, my recommended right now is The Ship and Resident Evil 6. I've only ever played one Resident Evil. That was 4 on the GameCube, and I never beat it.
It knows exactly
So-
what you love.
I
Yeah.
did recommend Civilization, or Colonization, Sid Meier's Colonization. That one makes sense. Rise, Son of Rome. That one makes sense because I kind of want to play it. And I was just looking at it. Tron 2.0 and the shader tool utility.
Ah.
Yeah, it's getting me
Oh, wait, no, that's
pretty
just
well.
popular. Wait a minute.
Like, it just
Oh, really?
recommended Sticks for me, and I like that. Sleeping Dogs. Yeah, I love Sleeping Dogs. Just a shame that the definitive edition is shit. So,
Yeah,
they're
Hey, that's another
close.
story.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, I don't like the layout because it's like this is like never-ending Reddit, but it's a store page. If you know, I'm supposed to be taking everything in with my eyes, and
Lord
I
Gaben
might
will
as well
hear
just
of
be
this.
searching for these things. Yeah, no,
Let's tell Gaben about
I
this.
don't get it. I think it could make better use of this. I know the whole people only read stuff in the middle thing kind of applies, but I think they could still make better use of the space and yeah, just so many boxes. Everything's in its own like. Box,
I don't
but
think
there's
that
like
it's.
100 of them.
I don't think the fact that everything's in the middle because people only read stuff in the middle, but more because they just want to focus on people with small monitors, which is a bit weird since 1920 by 1080 is like the most common monitor resolution on Steam.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's move on to the next topic.
Sure.
Okay. Ubisoft is targeting 60 FPS / 1080p for Assassin's Creed Unity. Wait, hang on. No, they're making it 900p 30 FPS to stop debates. Okay, alright. Oh, okay, now hold on. 30 FPS was always the goal because it's more cinematic. Alright, finally, Ubisoft has finally clarified that they'd never ever do anything to intentionally diminish something they've produced or developed. Unrelated, here's a comparison of Watch Dogs E3 trailer in comparison to the retail product.
This was a well put together statement that the viewers will never benefit from.
No, there's a link to the Google Plus thing in, or not Google Plus,
Google
God
Doc.
no,
Yeah.
Google Doc, yeah, in the description, so they can just click that.
Oh, great. Well, yeah, in that case, definitely check that out, guys, because it's very thoroughly referenced. So, yeah, I mean, Raven, you can take the lead on this one. It's pretty self-explanatory now. Well,
Ubisoft
it's not
is full of
self-explanatory,
shit.
You just explained it. Yeah.
You be shit, more like it.
Yep.
And Ubisoft, and I made this comparison on the Twitters. I'm at Malachi VT. Always be promoting, baby. You know,
Ubisoft needs to
like,
shut
Ubisoft
up.
is like the local Chinese place, right? That makes the best Chinese you've ever had. And they have delivery, good prices. But then when they deliver the food, they punch you in the throat and maybe kick you in the groin. It's like, I really want to love you guys, but this is completely unnecessary.
I'm not
Like,
sure the
get your shit
delivery
together.
thing's a good
Stop hiring
comparison.
asshole delivery
Oh
people.
no, wait, no, it is because you play. So yeah, the delivery's
Yeah,
terrible.
Uplay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Uplay too.
Oh my
Uplay
god,
is
the
the
Uplay
delivery person.
integration. They fucking announced that Uplay and Steam would be integrated in 24 hours, like a week ago. No, like 3 weeks ago or something like that. And then they're like the day of release when it's like supposed to be a big integration between Uplay and Steam, so you don't actually have to use like the Uplay launch or anything like that. They're like, oh wait, no, never mind. We have to make sure that it's okay for Windows XP people. It's like, fuck them. Give it.
I swear the support's been withdrawn for Windows XP by Microsoft anyway.
Yes,
so
it has.
Yeah, I think we're at the point of just leaving that behind now.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe they meant like 24 like Jupiter hours or something.
Oh. Did you guys see the Dragon Age Inquisition tweet?
Nay.
Okay, so the Dragon Age Inquisition Twitter account, the official Twitter account, tweeted out the resolution for Dragon Age Inquisition. They said it will be 1080p on PlayStation 4 and 900p on Xbox One, and that they have maximized the potential of each platform. And
Oh wow.
fucking Christ, you know that was a shot at Ubisoft.
Oh man.
Oh,
Oh,
I thought you were gonna
without-
say that like all the Xbone owners went apeshit or something on Twitter or something like that. but
No, people were like,
it's kind of
saying,
a
like,
shock.
think of the
Microsoft
debates.
as well. Although it's kind of like kicking them while they're down anyway. But yeah.
Oh, it's so good though, because like
Yeah,
EA
that's definitely.
is making fun of someone. Like, you know you fucked up when EA is even going, look at that guy. They really fucked up, didn't they?
Feels it's okay to pot shot you.
EA is doing a lap of
Like-
honor right now.
How many times have they been voted worst company in America? Like 3
It
times?
was 2 years running.
Oh, 2 years. Okay. Yeah, it's...
Comcast won, I think, last time, so yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, twice they've been voted worst company in America. And Jesus Christ. Good job, Ubisoft, I guess.
It's just how do these developers think this is a good idea? Like to limit the FPS for, all these reasons. I mean, cinematic and stuff, and filmic, and
Something about
you know.
Unity and the developers, like, they just don't know how to talk or do anything, because this has easily been the most controversial Assassin's Creed, like, launch ever, and the Assassin's Creed series deals with a lot of sensitive subjects, so that's saying a lot.
Like, I mean, if they can get more FPS and high resolutions out of the consoles, why not? Why limit it? And
And they
It doesn't
did.
make
you
any
know
sense.
damn well good they did.
oh yeah,
And they're just lying.
they're just talking bullshit.
I don't get it.
It's a right laugh though when all this
They
stuff
keep-
goes down.
Who else?
I really hate when. Here's the thing about Ubisoft. Like, I really wanted to love Ubisoft because early on, well, not early on, but earlier, a few years ago, they had that whole idiotic thing with the always online DRM and blah blah. And they
That
finally
was
did away with
Assassin's
that.
Creed 2's launch.
Yeah, and they had it, I think, in 1 or 2 other games as well, if I remember right. But anyway,
Anno 2070?
so-
I think that's still the case for that one.
I know they
No,
took
that
it
got
out, I'm pretty
removed.
sure.
Like,
Oh, did it?
years later, but
Pretty sure.
whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
So they took all that out, and they really started to kind of like seem to be turning around. They had the one game that they did that I like suddenly the Cloudberry Kingdom, where they were like, "Hey guys, YouTube people should play our game, and you can monetize." And we had this contest, basically kind of hopping on the YouTube bandwagon and saying like monetization was fine. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, Ubisoft's really kind of turned around. Like they were doing some really dumb things, and now they turned around. But now it's kind of like they're going right back to doing stupid stuff. And I keep pulling for them to be like, come on, guys, you can not be morons. And then they just keep being morons.
And good luck
Yep.
to anyone monetizing any Assassin's Creed games when they're using idle recordings for the music.
Oh yeah, the music is annoying.
Because,
I wanted to talk over like the credits or like the opening of something like that in Assassin's Creed. And I was like, no, I just gotta skip this cutscene so I don't get like flagged.
They don't. Well, the only content IDs I have, I think, are all from idle.
Yeah, because
just like,
Ubisoft is
from, like,
actually
the first
okay with
episode
it.
of a series. Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
the rest of them.
They're like, oh yeah, no, you technically did like make 5% of what's going on here, which I'm talking over and can't possibly be reproduced. But sure thing, you claim your money.
That's what you think, IceBear. In reality, I download all of my Assassin's Creed soundtracks through your Let's Play of Assassin's Creed 3. I just remove your voice and then like reverse the music and replay it, and it's practically identical.
Rather than going to one of the YouTube videos that has it on. That's fair. I thought you'd keep my voice on it and just auto-tune it.
Should do that.
Anyway, I dragged us off topic again. Who else? Well, I'm going to do it again, but who else recently made some bullshit excuse about why they're lowering the performance of their game?
Destiny?
I say recently. I think it was the last time I was on this podcast, so it might be a while back.
Are you trying to segue or?
Nope.
Oh.
But we totally could if you wanted to.
All right. Well, let's segue into something else while I actually try and think about what you're referring to.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna give it a look as well. But you go.
The Evil Within will be locked to 30 FPS by default on PC, presumably to stop debates.
Did they actually say something about that, or you? Just
No, that's just
kind of
me
tie together.
Quoting Ubisoft. I just love adding like to stop debates along that sort of stuff because it works great when you're talking to like the parody stuff.
Seriously, it's a PC version. Why? Why lock the FPS?
I can only imagine they have some sort of physics engine that is locked to the FPS, because like Brutal Legend is the same thing. That's technically 30 FPS. In fact, the majority of Double Fine's games are 30 FPS. The way that the engine is built is that the physics engine works on a constant physics timestamp rather than a variable timestamp like it did for Psychonauts. So it's always tied to 30 frames per second. It can't go lower, it can't go higher. And so whenever they try to increase the frame rate, they just create more identical frames to fill in the gaps. So even if you are playing at like 60 FPS, it's actually just 30 unique frames playing twice every second, and it's just maybe that's why it's 30.
I think it was something to do. I'm sorry, but I think it was something to do with Square Enix. I'm just remembering this as I go. But yeah, puzzle on that one while you're carrying on. Sorry.
Square Enix.
They released some statement or other about it was something to do with them being like pretending that they were doing their best for their fans, but actually would not.
Oh wait, was this the last time you were on, or?
I don't know.
Okay, because that's like VGL Podcast 5.
Yeah, I'm going through them.
Square Enix.
Sorry, I've ground this to a halt. Evil Within 30 FPS PC.
Bullshit. Complete bullshit, but I don't know if it'll be able to be unlocked.
About the game, I think I agree. It's total nonsense.
I'm just glad we're not going to have to deal with any more of this id Tech 5 bullshit. Well, for much longer anyway, since I'm fairly certain The Evil Within will be the last title to be using id Tech 5.
The next Doom game's going to be made on id Tech 6. So.
Yeah. Presumably using ultra textures instead of mega textures.
No idea.
Yeah. That's
Can't
crazy.
wait until we get super mega ultra textures. That'll be the real future of gaming.
What the fuck was the Square Enix thing you're talking about? You've driven me insane.
I don't know. I'm trying to Google it now.
Maddragon, do you remember it? You hate Square Enix the most here.
I don't know. That's quite the contest.
Stop being a hater.
No, continue being a hater. Embrace it. We need your haterness.
What could it have been? What game could it have been?
Try sipping on the haterade to help refresh your memory.
Oh, it was console exclusivity on Rise of the Tomb Raider or something like that.
Oh.
That was it. It wasn't at all to do with performance limitations. Never mind.
God damn it, IceBear. You
but they released
drove
some
me insane because of
excuse
nothing.
about how them making it unavailable to a good portion of their customers was the best thing to do for the customers, and so it's just another idea of a fairly high, an exceptionally high tier publisher just pulling bullshit excuses for, pulling whatever cheap or lazy or greedy moves they can that will make things worse for the gamers, but ultimately, drive better profits for themselves.
Yeah. All right, let's move on, since I don't really think there's anything else to say. Anyone got anything to say about Evil Within being 30 FPS?
I don't know much about it, so no.
Maddragon?
No, probably not. Game looks good.
It's
Vertigo?
another one of those games that I really haven't kept depth with that much. I don't really do horror games that much. I like to watch people do them, but I don't really.
I was going to say,
Not
I'm
really
sure we'll
interested
find
in
out
watching
about
it.
it, like, as soon as it launches. There will be nothing else on Twitch, so
God,
we may as well wait until then.
Like,
Well,
those-
there's an hour of gameplay release, so you can just watch that if you want.
Oh, is
on
there
Twitch?
an hour?
No, on YouTube. IceBear, I think I linked it to you, and you were like, I'll watch it later.
Oh, that was the thing with the brain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was eating at the time, and there was this guy doing brain surgery, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch this later, and then I never did, of course.
I didn't know you were eating, in my defense. I wouldn't have linked it to you if I did.
Yeah, no, I was like, hey, you weren't like, hey, IceBear, are you eating? I've got a nice video to accompany it. Well, to be honest, that would have thrown me right off the descent. But yeah.
But yeah, let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. Disney begins to release their games on Steam. Currently, 22 titles are published by Disney on Steam, with other games like Disney Infinity 2.0 to come later. Well, isn't that about time?
I guess.
Because Disney has been releasing all their games on PC, on places like Amazon, digitally for ages. It's just not on Steam, and there's really no reason why. I guess they just didn't know about Steam or something, which seems impressive.
Well,
in a weird way.
I don't know. I guess you'd be surprised, because I mean, it's not like they do their own, development works, is it? They get other studios to develop their games for you. They just own the franchise, right?
I think that's Disney and Interactive Studios.
Oh right, yeah, okay. Well, in that case, I don't know. I don't know what's taking them so long.
Because you could download the games off of Amazon, so why not Steam?
Maybe Steam
Effort.
weren't evil enough for them, because Amazon, they don't pay any taxes, and they treat a lot of their employees like crap and keep them on short contracts and then just fire them because it's cheaper.
It's like the opposite of Valve. Valve never fires people. Gabe Newell says that he needs to learn how to fire people.
Yeah. By the guy who designed the new UI, am I right?
No.
Anyway.
You're not right. It's fine.
It looks nice.
I don't see the appeal, but moving on. Yeah, no, that's like my only lead, is that they're not evil enough. Because
Right.
Disney are quite evil.
Yeah. Well, all I know is that we should all buy this stuff before it goes back in the Disney vault. Which I hate.
Most of it can actually stay there, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I'm gonna buy a single one of those games, because most
Well, no,
of them are
Tron
movie
2.0 is
tie-ins.
apparently really good.
Oh
Which
yeah,
one?
that's true.
Tron
Well, I've
2.0.
heard that from a few people.
What type of game is it?
FPS?
FPS. It's
not-
built
no,
on the
it's not
Quake engine.
Oh,
You throw your disc around. I believe Pollock actually did a whole series on it.
He did,
Yeah.
and it got quite
Yeah.
popular because there was a
It's a
Tron forum or something that
Yeah.
that ended up
Yeah, it's
following
actually
their
a
series and stuff.
pretty good game.
Yeah, I
Like
guess
how
it
much
can
is it?
happen, like the
$6.29.
Chronicles of Riddick video games and whatnot. But yeah,
There's also another game on there that I recommend everyone play. It's called Disney Princess Fairy Tale Adventures.
Oh yes, obviously.
But seriously though, I actually do kind of enjoy that game, mostly because it was the first game that me and my little sister finished together, so a bit biased there, I guess. The quality of the game isn't actually that great, but
Were you
it
just
is a fun game
were
to
you
play
just
with your
sat
little
here
sister.
next to her going locked at 30 FPS? But this is horseshit.
But yeah, most of the PC games are just ports of the Wii versions, which is a bit weird, but yeah.
Yeah, that is exceptionally weird. Yeah.
Some of the trailers, like the Princess and the Frog one, they actually use the trailer of the Wii version of the game.
So does it like mention Wiimotes and stuff then?
Yeah, it says gameplay shown on Nintendo Wii.
Huh. That's strange. You would not use that as your showpiece console for most ports or advertisements.
Well, you got to
Like-
remember, like it's for children, and the Nintendo Wii
Yeah,
was
that's true.
pretty popular with children.
Yeah, I'm overthinking this. I guess maybe that's why they didn't release on Steam then, is because a lot of these are children's games, and I imagine the demographic for Steam is probably not particularly not that young.
Yeah, but I
'Cause
suppose
if you
maybe
think about
with
it,
like
it's
the
their parents
rise
that are
of
buying
like
these games,
Goat Simulator
and
stuff,
so
maybe
you don't wanna,
made it more like logical, I guess.
I'm sorry?
I said maybe with the rise of games like Goat Simulator being such big hits, these YouTube sorts of games which appeal with children a lot, like maybe
Well,
that's
no one's
why.
going to do a video of a Disney game on YouTube. Christ, those people are maniacs about copyright, aren't they?
There's actually been a lot of like Let's Plays I've seen of them.
Oh, okay. That's genuinely surprising, considering they were trying to sue Deadmau5 for having the ears.
God damn Disney.
Disney really is a scummy company.
Yeah, this is why. Yeah, this is
No,
why.
shut
I
up.
do
They're,
kind of
they're, they're
don't have
wonderful.
much time
They're my
for them.
childhood.
Yeah, I know
Ugh.
exactly. It's such an easy
And they
thing
didn't
to
really
hide
do the
behind.
Disney thing as a kid. I watched some of it. I still, Sword in the Stone is all great, but
That's because you're as old
Classic.
as like Walt Disney, Vertigo.
Walt Disney still survives on the blood of orphan children. You know that.
Anyway, anyone got anything else to say about that, or shall we move on?
Probably nothing important to say. No.
All right. So, DriveClub for PlayStation Plus users delayed indefinitely until servers are stable. Goddamn DriveClub! What? How did this even happen?
God,
What?
I'm outraged by this.
No, but I mean like DriveClub in general. Let's just talk about DriveClub in general for a moment.
Let's do that. Let's talk a lot about it.
What the hell happened with DriveClub? Because like it was
Actually,
delayed
I'm
for.
starting to think that the number one rule of DriveClub is something that's probably in direct contradiction to what you're doing right now.
Don't
So,
talk about DriveClub.
yeah, maybe don't.
Let's continue talking about DriveClub. What the hell? What were they doing for a year? And what made them think that they could possibly launch the game for the PlayStation 4 launch? Like, it's out now, and it got like pretty like bleh reviews, like 70 across the board. And they still
I don't know,
haven't.
for
Even,
my-
they don't even have the weather system in there. That's coming
Was it a
out in
Destiny 7 out of 10, or was it like a 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10?
7 out of 10, 7 out of 10.
Oh,
And
okay.
there's like features that are still going to be patched in later, like the weather system, which is a huge selling point of the game, and that's not in there. It's like, what were you doing? Maddragon, you were going to defend it?
Well, about the reviews, they're like generally more positive. Like, I mean, I'm looking
Really?
at Metacritic right now. It's got like 36 positive, 90 mixed, 1 negative, which is a 40 from Giant Bomb. Which that seems really fucking harsh.
And what was?
Due to something about the fact that the servers aren't stable.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
it was
how
Jeff
is
Gerstmann
it
said that the driving wasn't fun, and in a driving game, if the driving's not fun,
I
it's
think
sort
that'd
of
be pretty important.
yeah,
Well,
it is
central.
kind of
But
important.
how's the story? Yeah, the driving's terrible, but the story's amazing.
I honestly am mostly in it for the cup holders.
Cup holders.
This car handles like crap, but damn if it can't hold my.
Yeah.
Isn't that
These
a
are
big thing as well?
authentic looking
It's all,
cup
like,
holders.
really detailed interior, like first person view, and
Oh yeah.
they were going on about.
Yeah.
Right then.
Like lion paw leather cup holders.
See, that's
The
something I
sort
can
of thing I
appreciate.
want. Yeah.
I can actually
800,000
appreciate that.
polygons on just a cup to put into the cup holder.
Yeah. Elephant tusk ivory steering wheel. All the little things really. Some kind of endangered fish is like some kind of oil for the car. I don't really know much about cars.
But yeah, DriveClub is pretty meh.
It's impressive
just-
that they can't manage to get stable servers for a
Yeah.
PS Plus game. Oh no, wait, no, never mind.
No,
I was thinking of
it's-
PSP. Forget what I was saying.
It's like it's a Sony exclusive, first party game, right? And how do they not have the servers like all ready and stuff for the launch of it?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense why they're having so many problems with the servers. Because I mean, from what I understand, the game actually plays fine. There's no problem playing it single player, unless I don't even know if you can play it single player. Is it like online only? I don't know.
I'm not
How
sure.
does that work exactly? Have they prevented all downloads of the game? What does it mean by delayed? Does it just mean multiplayer's delayed?
No,
it's
so
just the PS Plus free version.
Oh,
yeah, it
Okay,
comes
Don't
out
all
free with
PS Plus
PlayStation
members.
Plus at launch,
It's
and
basically like a demo of it.
yeah,
Basically.
it's got its own platinum trophy though. Hi,
okay.
Metal Gear
Ooh,
Solid
nice.
5.
I'll
I'm still salty about that.
sure. I mean,
Yes.
I've
So
never
basically-
owned a PlayStation, so I don't really. I know a PlayStation 3 or 4 rather.
So the PlayStation Plus version, yeah, it's just not available to download. You can download the other PlayStation Plus games like Dust and Elysian Tale, which you all should because it's fucking awesome.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
I've been
that's a great
playing that,
game.
by the way. It's
Yeah.
really good on PS4. Really fucking good.
But you can't download DriveClub. So yeah, that's impressive. How did they go from MotorStorm to such a terrible launch of DriveClub?
I don't know. I think it's just Sony's made some bad decisions with their racing games recently.
Do you think that they'll shut down Evolution Studios?
Oh God, no! Please no. I'm still.
Because I mean, the Trials games have never been a pretty successful. Like they were always pretty meh in terms of sales, and the same
Trials
goes
games, what?
for DriveClub apparently. So they're not exactly Gran
Trials
Turismo.
games. What Trials games?
Sorry, not Trials. Fuck. What is the games they made? MotorStorm. There we
MotorStorm.
go.
That's
There's
completely
there's
different.
MotorStorm Trials, I think, and that fucked me up.
You're driving
The
a
trials of
vehicle
MotorStorm.
that's powered by gasoline.
Passion of the
I think
MotorStorm.
That's pretty close.
Sorry, yeah, MotorStorm
Yeah, I
has
mean-
never been a particularly big hitter in terms of sales.
Well, it's a good game, and I'm hoping they continue the series with that, but I hope they don't close it down. Seriously, like what they did with Studio Liverpool. That is.
If they have to close Evolution, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if they have to close Evolution to bring back Liverpool, I am fine with that.
Oh God, yes, yeah. Wipe out over MotorStorm, but I prefer to have them both because they're
Yeah.
really both
Ideally,
really good
yeah.
games. It's just kind of strange. I think it would have been better if they had just gone with like a PS4 MotorStorm rather than DriveClub. Because I mean, we've already got stuff like Gran Turismo, which is definitely on the way, isn't it?
They
And we
should have
recently
brought
had number
GT6
6 on
over
PS4.
at launch. I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah, they could have just added it, up-resed it, made it look all nicer and stuff, and
Yeah,
there we
just
go.
and then
That
just
was so-
advertise it as a PlayStation 4 exclusive, even though it's still on PlayStation 3, because they're doing the exact same thing with like Little Big Planet 3. That's coming out on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation
mean,
3. Yet
many-
not many people know that.
Yeah, and it's like, how many editions of Gran Turismo do they release every now and then? They release like the prologue type stuff, and then they release the full game and stuff.
Didn't they say they're not going to be doing a prologue for 7?
Yeah, but you get what I mean. They could have easily released another version, another iteration of it for PS4.
Yeah. I agree, yeah. Polyphony could have done that. You guys ready to wrap it up?
How long's it been this time?
About
Too
an hour
long.
and a half, a little longer.
Almost 2 hours, I think.
Alright, so-
we started closer to 9:30 than.
Thank
than nine.
you to the audience for listening for however long it's been. They
Thanks,
can
boys
check
and
with the
girls.
YouTube timestamp thing.
Yeah.
Everyone ready to shout out a project? IceBear, I think I know what you're going to do. Shout out.
Yeah, I guess. I just uploaded a review just today of Gods Will Be Watching, which I talked about like 3 years ago on this, and I've finally done the review. I've had some serious productivity issues, but now that's up, and then there's going to be an Always Sometimes Monsters review, and then hopefully Tiny Keep, and then Unrest. I'm hoping to get a bit more done with the channel, so look forward to that. And also I finished recording Thief and Torchlight 2, and we finished recording Right Tail Retribution, so all of those series are gonna
Did
eventually
my
get wrapped up.
DLC that I gifted you help?
Yes, in fact, in the most recently uploaded episode, I left and forgot it, and then went back for it straight away. That was like a good 6 minutes. You can probably skip that if you want.
No.
But yeah, no, should be a few things, but do check out the reviews because they take exorbitant amounts of time in some cases, apparently.
My turn. Even though it's actually Maddragon's technically, but fuck him. I'm going to be shouting out my Metro 2033 Redux review that I recently did, and yeah, it's a pretty good review of Metro 2033 Redux. I think it's probably one of the best reviews out there. Not biased at all. One thing that
Best
I do
review
find
I've ever seen.
the one thing that I do find hilarious is that no one noticed that I used the soundtrack from The Last of Us as the background music. People assumed that I had asked people who reviewed it like what song they thought I had used, and they were like, "Oh, it's probably from the game." And it's like, no, it's from The Last of Us. Oh, suck on that, Maddragon.
Yeah, I finally finished my Dark Souls 2 Let's Play.
Fuck
Probably
you,
would have
Navland.
finished it weeks ago. But I just didn't bother uploading it. It's all fully uploaded and stuff now. Other than that, I mean, nothing much else. I mean,
No
I still
DLC?
got other LPs to do. Not at the moment, no. I got no
Alright.
interest in the DLC. for
So
some
going
reason,
back
which is
to White
strange.
Knight Chronicles.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I got Resident Evil 0 to complete as well.
I thought you were
which
going to
probably...
say 6, and I was like, don't
I know.
fucking
I
let's
was
play
like, no.
that.
I was like, I got 0 to complete. White Knight Chronicles, Morrowind. Other than that, I don't know what I'm doing with my channel at the moment. I'm just too busy playing Destiny and Smash Bros.
Why don't you do a Destiny Let's Play? Stream it on
story
Twitch.
mode?
Yeah.
What story mode? Exactly.
Well, I mean, I could explain to you, but there's no time to explain why I can't explain it to you.
This is the wrap-up time, people. Keep it snappy.
So, yeah, so you're doing that stuff. Vertigo.
Yes. Let's see. Probably maybe my Sticks. Let's try.
All right.
Good stealth game. Worked. Was a good game. Well, so far it's been a good game. Check it out. Vertigo Tea Party.
I showed a guy I know who was on Focus Home Interactive. I know a guy who worked on the development / publishing of that game, and yeah, now you're famous with the developers.
Wait, what?
What?
He
What?
knows a guy.
Yeah.
Oh, does he know a guy?
Yeah, I'm friends with okay, so a friend of mine used to be a video game reviewer. Then he got a job offer from Focus Home Interactive. Now he works with them, and so technically now I'm a friend with someone who works at Focus Home Interactive, and I showed them your video.
I think that means that you now no longer have any journalistic integrity. Isn't that the way now?
No. See, like
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
No, see, like
'Cause you
I've
know someone in
reclused
the
myself
industry, so now...
from doing any videos on Sticks because of that.
Oh,
I
right,
do
okay.
expect special treatment though. So.
Oh yeah, you've already
If you
gotten
could
it.
get on that, I would really prefer some special treatment.
I could totally do that. I'll get you an art book sent to you if you want.
That works.
You're hoping for more like a free car with Sticks decals or something.
Maybe
Oh,
a
yeah,
lanyard? Would you like a lanyard?
A lanyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the one, but
Yes.
no,
That's all right.
I'm kidding. I'm jealous that I wasn't the one.
I know you are. But
Accents.
yeah, I very rarely get to correct people because I'm usually the one saying the word wrong. So I had to kind of.
I think that's just today.
To be fair, didn't get it wrong, said it differently. There's Both were
It's
accepted.
kind of like the Sarah Palin excuse, but sure, go for it.
What, Sarah Palin excuse?
She said the word repudiate once, which is a combination of two words, but it doesn't actually exist on itself. And when prompted about it, she said that Shakespeare invented words, so why can't I? Like she'd meant to do it.
Yeah, see, I would never go that route. I just screwed up.
Yeah, it's easier in the long run.
See, when I screw
you
up,
just
I
admit
always
it
compare
now.
myself to Shakespeare. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
Why did I set that house on fire?
I don't think it's
Well,
said that way,
Shakespeare
Raven.
once said.
I don't think that's the way it's said at all. The world cannot handle my genius. Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Alright, that's
Anyway.
all. And
That's
that's
all, folks.
the end of that chapter.